So today, let's be talking about motivation. And because I was thinking, when it comes to these videos, if anything anyone ever sees, that was not English, but if any part of these videos that someone sees and it helps them and it inspires them, I think that's fantastic. But the only issue with getting inspired and getting motivated is it never lasts. That's a guaranteed fact that it never lasts. Because inspiration and motivation, it never lasts. It's always going to disappear. That's a guaranteed fact. There's no doubt about it. And I remember when I was younger, I used to go through this all the time. And I would always feel motivated and inspired at night just before going to bed, which is the worst possible time to be experiencing that because there's nothing you can do about it. And then you wake up in the morning and you're feeling lazy, you're tired, and then you've got work, you can't act upon it necessarily. And that's the issue with being motivated and getting inspired. It is just in the moment. It's a great feeling, and you feel like you're going to change the world. Well, do you feel like you're going to change yourself? And you're going to get your life on track. And I'm here to say that that's just not the reality at all from someone who's experienced that. Who's experienced so much motivation. I'm almost so sensitive to it that I can get inspired and motivated like that. And it's an issue because it doesn't allow you to act. Just getting that feeling, watching a video and being like, yeah, he's right. Yeah, that's amazing. Hearing a story about someone's life. There's no purpose in it necessarily. Because it's not 100% beneficial. Now, sure, absolutely, you can get some value from it. And there is a positive in it. And the positive is, if you have a system in place, if you have a plan in place, motivation can just help you propel that plan. As long as you're sticking to the plan, sticking to the system, all the time. It has to be in place and you have to be sticking to it. Something that's becomes robotic and automatic and almost innate. It's not dependent on your emotions because as humans, we're just too emotional. That's why you have to have plans. That's why you have to have systems. If you want to progress in things, yeah. If you want to have fun and enjoy life, that's it. You know what I mean? You might not have to have those sort of things. But for me, if you want to progress in things, if you want to do good things, I believe it's the system that matters. And motivation and inspiration is a fuel. It's a high burning fuel. And it's these short sort of blasts of energy. It's these short, intense, let's get life going. And mix that with a great car. If you're talking fuel, you're going to get a fast car. So it's the same with a plan and a system. Mix it with a great system that's automatic for you. It's, it's a game changer. Like a small, it's also the small little things you can do. Like I used to read books Audible. I used to listen to Audible every morning. Listen to a book. Listen to someone teaching something. I was always trying to learn something. I don't do it anymore because I film now. But that was an everyday 10 or 15 minute thing that was just automatic. And if I didn't feel like it, I didn't pay attention. But it was, the system was in place. The system was there. And most of the time I did listen. Yeah, sure, I missed a few bits and I would just rewind it. I'll play it again the next day. So to me, that's like almost a foolproof system to get through books and to almost have a new input of knowledge, a new sort of influence on you. And obviously, once you start doing these things, you start holding on to your motivation a bit more, a bit longer. You know, like exercise. For me, the system is in place. There's hardly any times or anything that's going to sway the system that we've got in place. You finish work, you go to the gym. It's easy because otherwise I'm going home and then going to the gym. And by the time I've done that, for the class I've got booked, again, another system, get a class booked. By the time I do that, I've got 10 minutes, I've got 15 minutes. So there's no point. So it's wasting my time driving around. So you might as well go straight to the gym. You know what I mean? It's 10 minutes down the road from where I work. And again, another system in place. I pay a bit more money for it, but I go. You know, people say, oh, it's mad expensive, that gym. But I go at the end of the day and I get the benefit from it. And I'm lucky to be able to do that, obviously. Be able to spend that money. But it's a system that's foolproof. There's no debate in it. There's no after work, oh, I really don't feel like the gym. It's like, I have those days where I don't feel like the gym, but it's never leaning upon that, because it's like, well, you just go to the gym. If you're not feeling it, go sit on a bike, do a bit of cardio for an hour before a class or whatever. But there's no debate on not going. Same with going for a run. Every Wednesday, go for a run. Because we don't book a class on Wednesday and we can't book something else on Wednesday, it automatically leaves space for, well, let's run. And then you get, you're also I'm dependent on someone else. I do it with my girlfriend, and when you're dependent on someone else, it's a lot harder to budge quitting, because if that other person's up for it and you're not, you're doing it. If you're up for it and they're not, you're doing it. And it's almost highly unlikely that you're both going to be not up for it at the same time. And if you are, you've done it enough times to know, yeah, we need to do it. Let's not waste our Wednesday. There's other things we could be doing here. I've already drove it. And it's a system, and none of that relies on motivation. I'm not motivated to go to the gym. I'm not inspired to run. It's in the system. It's in the plan. There's no wavering from it. And that, to me, is the only way I've seen that I stick to something. These videos, I will forever stick to this, because there's almost pressure to upload every day. It's now a system. It's now a system of, no, we've got a film. So then you say, well, I've not got enough ideas. Right, so every time you get an idea, you write it down. No matter what it is, you write it down. Every morning, I look at the notes and see if there's anything tickle my fancy. If it doesn't, I don't film. If I do, I film. Now, that could be more systematic and more robotic and say, let's film every day. Like, I know I said when I first started this, I'd film every day. But then you get a mixture of what do you actually want to do. And filming every day, I'm coming up with ideas that almost aren't my own, almost don't mean anything to me. But the system's in place for me to, like this morning, think of this idea that I probably thought about 4 days ago. And I don't have to rely on motivation. I don't have to rely on being inspired. So if you know what I mean, you hear a clip of mine, or you see a video, or whatever, and you feel inspired and it gets you going, just know that that's not enough. And that's okay. That's completely normal. I've experienced that. Like I said, when I was growing up, it's not enough. And it's the actions that you have to do. Anything, get something small in place. Like I said, 10 minutes on the way to work. I'm going to work anyway. I've got a tenner to pay for Audible. Find a book. Anything. An autobiography of a celebrity you like. You start somewhere, and it might be a 10-hour book, and that can last you for what, 2 months? But it's it's a start. And to me, if I want to act, if I want to do something, I've almost got to have a system in place. Otherwise, it's not going to last, because we're too emotional. I'll wake up one morning, the other night, I went to bed at 1, woke up at 6. You think I'm going to be motivated to do something in the day? I'm going to be tired. But the system's in place. I still went to the gym yesterday. Still hit my chest. Still hit abs. Still did a yoga session. Because it's almost non-negotiable, because it's a system. There's no debating it, and it's easy. There's less pressure on you. There's less mental load. There's less negative criticism on yourself to say, oh, you're not good enough, you're not doing it. Because it's not up to you. It's just what's in place. But yeah. Peace.